Many of the experiences I've had throughout high school have been in some way tied to my lifelong love and journey with soccer. Yes, my soccer journey has been extraordinary, or I might even say exceptional, but let me start a little bit earlier. When most 8th graders are assigned the last history project of the year, their first thought is likely, how can I do this with the least amount of effort and just get it over with so I can start high school already? Ultimately, I decided against simply making another poster board covered with poorly cut photographs and some labels thrown on here and there. No, I would instead produce a full-blown documentary, even though I had a fairly aggressive deadline and it was my first time working with iMovie. Of course my dad helped a bit, but in the end, it was as good an 8th grade project as you'd get, if I do say so myself.
This is the story of Coach Lincoln Tiger Phillips and the Howard University Bison soccer team taking a stand against the National Collegiate Athletic Association, or NCAA.
Additionally, every student could enter their project in the National History Day competition, and after all the work I put into my film, I decided to give it a shot. Fast forward through my school presentation, the Howard County competition,
first place in this category, Coach Lincoln Phillips,
and then the Maryland state level competition at UMBC.
First place, Coach Lincoln Phillips.
And then, there I was, competing for the grand prize at the National NHD competition at the University of Maryland College Park. Unfortunately, I didn't come in first, but the experience of making it that far was enough of a reward and really opened my eyes. I had the opportunity to meet and interview the legendary coach Lincoln Phillips, a Trinidad and Tobago national team superstar and the first black soccer coach to win an NCAA national championship with a historically black university and college, or HBCU, the Howard University Bisons.
That's the end of the game! Howard University has won!
I also connected with Pat Leahy, a former NFL kicker with the New York Jets, who played for their rivals.
To me, it was one of the best soccer games I ever participated in.
The legendary Coach Phillips invited me to travel with him and speak on a panel with him at the National Soccer Coaches Convention, where he was being honored, and to discuss my documentary and his impact on young players.
And another young man, okay, Jason Taylor, he was 13 years of age when I met him. Interviewed me, and something struck a chord when he saw the film and read the book.
I feel like this story is very important to know and understand, because what he did, basically winning the national championship, getting it stripped away, and being able to persevere, like he said, and basically keep his head up and keep his team focused to be able to come back and win it again. That's just a very good trait to have, and to be able.
All of that was more than I could have imagined. But then later, my documentary was selected to be screened in the Oprah Winfrey Theater at the Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture in Washington, D.C. And this ride that started at the end of middle school had continued impacting my life well into high school, and culminated with me and other NHD finalists being honored at the Maryland State Capitol and receiving recognition from Maryland Senator Van Hollen and other state legislators. Initially, this experience seemed isolated. I invested in something unique and earned recognition, but afterwards, things went back to normal more or less. However, I didn't realize how much it would shift my overall perspective and change the way I approach challenges. For instance, thinking back to my long conversations with Coach Phillips, I decided, as a sophomore, to fight for my spot on my varsity soccer team, even though most players usually spend 2 years on JV before moving up. It was not easy, and I worked hard for several weeks during the summer, waking up before 5 a.m. to get to practice and tryouts early. But ultimately, I achieved a major accomplishment and proved to my coach that I could make the team, and I did. More recently, like the rest of the world dealing with the pandemic, I spent this past summer stuck inside quarantining due to COVID-19. I was unsure of how to spend my free time during lockdown, and I began brainstorming ways to occupy myself. I realized that fashion and sewing is something I've always had an interest in and wanted to do, but I've never taken the chance to learn. Looking back on my experience of making a documentary instead of a poster, and trying out for varsity in 10th grade instead of settling for JV, I realized giving sewing a try might be worth it as well. I convinced my parents to lend me $160 for a sewing machine, and I designed and began making custom jeans. I created a TikTok video to show off the results, and before I knew it, I was getting Instagram messages from people all over the US who wanted to buy my jeans. I created a brand and actually started making some good money, all because I took a risk and tried something different. Like the experience with the documentary, it all happened so fast. Word spread, and my soccer coach even asked me to design the new uniforms for my high school soccer team. So hopefully I will have one last adventure in the spring of 2021 when I will wear my own design as I captain my team in my senior year. As I near the end of my senior year and prepare to start the next chapter of my life, I've learned that it can be easy to fall short of your potential by avoiding risks. What if I made a poster instead of the documentary? Or if I didn't enter into the National History Day competition? Or if I didn't reach out to Coach Phillips? Or cold call an NFL kicker? Or spend $160 on a sewing machine? Wait, would I even be making this video right now?